Welcome back. In today's episode, we are going to continue with the responsive. So last time we were working on responsive. So we are going to continue and finish up with responsive, and then we will proceed on the edit, functionalities, and delete if time allows. Yeah, so that we can just move on with our system. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank those ones who have subscribed and those ones who have even who like our videos. When you like the videos, they move to other people, and I'm so grateful that you like the content. Continue to like the content, share the content, and I'm just going to continue making more videos. Okay. So I have a lot of apps coming up soon. I even don't know, like people are crazy suggesting a lot of ideas, which are so nice. Okay, people want, there is the school management system, there is an e-commerce, there is a LMS, there is a bank system. There are so many systems guys are suggesting we build, but trust me, we'll build one by one. Okay, so just trust the process. We have to finish one project. Okay, and in between I've been mixing in some other videos, and this can help you to break monotony and can also help you to also dive into other things. I will be adding in more other stuff. For instance, we are most likely to build a portfolio website, and in that portfolio website we be focusing on these projects we are building so that we are able to put them on a portfolio. And we're also going to talk about also freelancing and other things. We'll be just getting into venturing into those things, and as we are building projects we'll be optimized. We'll also talk about optimizing your LinkedIn. We talk about going to Upwork and we set up, and I will be eagerly waiting to see how guys are performing in those areas. Want to be going on the job hunt. As you are getting these skills, we need to put them to actions. Okay, so yeah, I have a lot coming up, and the only thing I need is your support. Make sure you like the content, subscribe, so that we keep making good content. Okay, I want to take and push these boundaries even to the next level. Okay, yeah, and this is all possible because of you. Okay, so now let's continue with our design. So far we are designing and we have this going on right now. At least we can hide the sidebar and also some items on this menu. And I don't know if in the next video we should handle authentication, so that we add this avatar from authentication. I don't know, but right now let's just handle the responsive part. Okay, so I still feel like this should continue hiding, and it comes at a later stage. Okay, this should continue hiding until the later stage. And one thing I just wanted to show you, let me just show you one thing. Now, to those ones, I want to say, to those ones who want to try to deploy the project, okay, I already have a deployed version of this project. Okay, just stay tuned. I will show you at the end of the video of this video how to deploy the project so far, where it has reached, what you should do, everything step by step. I will show you how to deploy it and learn how to deploy in time before so many things come up. Okay, so just going to learn. I have the deployed version, and we are going to show you how I deployed it and all our steps. Okay, so now what I just want is, I want to say I still feel like this comes when it is still not okay, and I can check the layout. So just go here in the back office layout, this layout, let's see. So we have this one. Instead of SM, I'm just going to say let's push this to come at either LG. Let's try like LG, okay, and also in the sidebar. Okay, let's try LG. Let me see here. Okay, this one, it is going to be hidden, and it should come only on LG. Okay, so if that is the case, it should hide. Okay, so you can see now we have it looking more nice. Okay, so it is hiding at that, and will come only on big screens. You can see that. Okay, so you see it goes. Okay, let's make sure everything actually does that in the header. Let's go to our header. Where is the header? Components header. Okay, so this one, wherever we have SM, let's just turn it into LG. LG. Okay, let's see now. And let me just look for where these avatars are, these ones. So at this point, yeah, so you can see right now we have this. Let me look for our button. This one is supposed to be also LG. Okay, yeah, so you can see it is here. And at this point we can leave the search. Then what we can just do is, what is the search anyways? What is the search here? So this one, LG. Okay, so we have all this space, and this one we can just give it MD. Okay, MD, and on LG maybe it can show up. Yeah, so when you push it more further, it also goes. Okay, that is okay. Okay, so we have this going on. We don't want this second one to also come on this, so let me just go on the, let's just go on sidebar. Was I on the header? Okay, on the header we have this button, and this one we only want this one to show up on the big screens. Okay, so want on this to disappear, so we can just say LG hidden. So we can just say button class name, give it a class name of LG hidden. Okay, can just give it LG hidden. Okay, so on the big screen it hides, when it comes to small screen it appears. So far we're having this going on well. So the only thing that is remaining is to make this button. Okay, the only thing that is remaining is this making this button work, and at that point will be somehow okay, making this button work. So let's just go to see where that button is. Okay, I have to bring it back so that we work with it. Okay, so you just go to that button. So the button is here. Okay, the button is here, and what this button is going to be doing, it will have to work with a transporter at some point. And what do I mean, a transporter? So if you go to the layout, this is where the whole magic is. Okay, where we are having the control, we're having the control over here. Okay, because this the header is somehow, the button that is in the header is the one that is controlling the sidebar. Okay, so if you can see that, so this button, when we click it, we want this sidebar to appear again, to come. That is one thing that we want. Okay, so we will have to put a state that has to be passed onto this. Okay, for instance, we can have a state here, const const, and for instance, show menu. So for instance, we have the show menu. Okay, this is show sidebar, maybe set show sidebar, just like that. And this is going to be use state. Okay, and by default we just say it is false. And I don't know, making this one a client, what is going to happen. Okay, I don't know if we make our layout use client, if this has any problems with other things, but right now let's focus on to that only. So far I'm not seeing any problems. So far we still have our forms. Okay, let me just see. Yep, we still have our forms working. I can add a new category. Let's see, test category. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, we still have this moving on well. Okay, so now I'm just going to see if how do I transport, because what we want is this function to be propagated up to the header, and then this show sidebar, it has to be propagated to the sidebar so that it can control the sidebar. That is our purpose. We have these two functions. This first one is the one which is having the current state of the show sidebar state, and this one has to be passed to the sidebar. But the set show, let me just put set show sidebar is a function that updates this show sidebar, and this one has to be sent to the header because this button that is going to be working that is where it is located. So for instance, I can say I'm just going to get this show sidebar, I send it as a prop. Okay, I'm just going to send it as a prop to sidebar, and I will also send this set sidebar. If I just come here and I just set sidebar, and I send this also to this, so I'm sending the function to the header, but the state itself I'm sending to the sidebar. So if I go to the sidebar, I will receive this so sidebar. Okay, I can have this one, and quickly let me just go ahead and console.log it. Okay, console.log this. Okay, and then in the header, let me also just go and receive this set show sidebar. Okay, this one. So this one is a function. Okay, So on click, for this button, which button is that? This button here. Okay, we can handle, we can just say we can run a function here. We could just come and run this function, but what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to say on click. Okay, I'm just going to say on click. I'm just going to say here we could just create a function here. Function handle menu menu click. We could just go to say, anyways, any function here could just say handle click. It doesn't matter, and this is a function. So in this function, let's say what one thing we want to say. I want to say set this to true. Okay, and I also want to console.log. So console.log button clicked. Okay, and for now let's first check if this button is listening to the click by passing this function here, the handle click. Okay, so you can see already this false is coming from sidebar. I don't know if you are seeing it, guys. So you can see from the sidebar we're having this false. Okay, and then now let me just click this button, and you can see here button clicked. Now if I just come and I just say set show sidebar true, so I just now want to click this. Okay, and now it is button clicked, and you can see true from the sidebar. So we have the communication between this button and the sidebar. Okay, so want the sidebar to respond. Okay, when it is true, we want it to respond. Okay, and also we can also bring this here. Okay, so what do we do if it is true? So just go to sidebar, and if this set show sidebar is true, what are we supposed to do? Okay, that is the question, because what is controlling the sidebar, let's first understand it, is that we have this class first of all hidden. Okay, if I remove the class hidden, okay, if I remove the class hidden right now, let's see what happens. You can see the sidebar shows up. Okay, we can see that the sidebar shows up, and we need to give it, I think, a higher Z index so that the table doesn't look like that. Okay, let me just try to give it some Z index, maybe of 50. I don't know if this one will help. Okay, okay, yeah, so this helps. It helps. Right now it is okay. Okay, so this is cool. Okay, so you can see that what is controlling first of all is this hidden class. Okay, what is controlling is this hidden class. That is the one that we want to control. Now if I just put it back, it hides. Okay, so first of all, so we can just put a state here. Okay, I'm just going to cut this. Okay, now I'm just going to put the brackets, and then here I'm just going to say show. So I have this dollar show sidebar. If this is true, okay, if this is true, I want to show, and it is, I want to show something. So if it is true, I want to remove the hidden class. That is the first thing. I want to remove the hidden class. And if it is false, then I want to pass in the hidden class. Okay, we're just going to see how this one works for now. Okay, so this is true right now. So we need to create a button here that is going to be for hiding. Okay, we need a button for hiding. Maybe on this inventory here, we have to create a button that is going to be for hiding. Else, you could also create it somewhere here. For hiding, we have to have a way of hiding this. Okay, now we could we could create where do we create that button? We could create it on the sidebar itself. Okay, I want to see which one is easier to create it on the sidebar instead of creating it anywhere else. Okay, so let me just go to the sidebar. And where is the logo? So here is where we have this div. So div is having how many items? Okay, we have this logo going on here. Okay, this link for the logo. Now since it is a div, since it is a link, what I'm thinking is that I can just simply put it in a flex with the icon. I don't know if that is I don't know if it is a wise idea. Just putting this, and then down here I'm just going to put a button, and this button will have the X icon from receipt. Okay, just like that. And let's see, let me just give this one class name, maybe h6 w6 text white. Let me see how this one is going to look like. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we have this button. Okay, we have the button looking like that. Okay, we could give this button, if I give this justify between, let's see what happens. Okay, and if we just gives this one to have the width is full, I don't know what will happen. Okay, so it will push it up to that level. Okay, and for this button I just need to give it some spacing. Basically, let me just see. Class name, class name, let's just give it some padding x like of 6. Okay, and maybe py of 4. Let's see how this one turns out. Okay, so and just how about px3? Okay, so this one seems to, yeah, it could work. Okay. We could have this working, like we have the inventory here and the cross, and only this one could show up on small screens. Okay, so you can have, let me see, this one, if we just put log hidden, so that means that if we expand this, it goes away. Okay, this close button comes when this needs to be closed. Okay, on the big screens it can remain, then here it can just turn up and then close. Okay, okay, we can just first leave it there. We can get a better place for it in the future, but right now let's make sure it is also closing the, so on click, on click, on click, you can just see you just run a function and it says set show menu, set show sidebar, and we set this one to false. We will set this one back to false, and what we could do is we have to pass in the sidebar also the closing. So you see right now here we don't have the set show sidebar, just like that, and I'm just going to pass it in here in the layout. So this one, let's also pass it this, let's also pass it here on this. Okay, and then speaking of this, the header, we might just not need this this whole thing. We can just do it in one line also, where we have this click. We can just handle just like this. Okay, just like that, and let's see. So this one should be able to close like that. Okay, so we have the closing and opening functionality moving on really well. Okay, so one problem we still have, so I'm just going to do this, and what you can do, we can give it the same background. Can we give it the same background? Let me just see if I can get exact same background in the sidebar. Sidebar. Where is the sidebar? Okay, so we have this link, we have this BG slate moving on. Okay, okay, I'm just going to copy this BG slate to this button. Okay, and I also give it the same exact padding. Okay, where is it? Okay, just like that. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, this is exactly what I want. So right now it looks to be like it is one thing. This looks so nice, I like it. Okay, really like it. Okay, and let's look at its px. Px, we could just increase px to 4. Okay, it doesn't matter right now, so the fact there is no gap, this looks fine now. Okay, like this. Okay, okay, so we have this now going on. Where the problem we have is one now. If I just come here and I click on for instance, we are on categories. If I click on brands, okay, so you see that it goes to brands, but this remain open. Okay, So just work on that. We should also just have this. If you click any of these menus, okay, if you click any of these menus, it should be able to close. So in this whole link here, in this here, the problem is that also these ones are just like one by one, but we can try to add also the click. Okay, we can also add the on click on them. Okay, let me see, drop down link. We can first go to these for instance, I don't know if we added anything on let me first see. For instance, if I add on click on any of these ones, on click, just actually get the same on click we have here, just this one. Let me copy this and let's try it, if this will navigate to anywhere, just any of these, and see if this is going to make any sense. Okay, so if I come and I click on categories, it doesn't, it changes the categories, but it doesn't. Okay, so I'm just going to propagate this down. Okay, I'm going to propagate this down, and I'm going to say I can also send there this set. I'm just going to set, and then I'm just going to have this. Let's go to these links. Okay, and just going to receive another one, which is set show sidebar. Okay, so if I just said there is a trigger, okay, so want to click, when we click on any of the trigger, there is collapsible link. Dude, we have a lot of things meshed here. There is this collapsible content, and the collapsible content is all this, because you can see the collapsible content is the one which actually has this map. So the collapsible link is the one that is here. Okay, now I have no guarantee to say if I add on click here it will work. Okay, you don't know. So if I just see it, I have no idea, but it's just trying and see. Okay, just refresh. Okay, so just bring this back and click. It is being clicked but nothing. Okay, so it is not really working. I don't know if I should propagate it to the actual link. Okay, because it seems like this collapsible link is also not taking up that. You can still propagate it, like say set show sidebar is equal to set show sidebar. I don't know, but let's try our luck. Okay, so just come here, set show sidebar. Okay, so this is now the actual link. Okay, that is the actual link. Say I just want to, so you can see this one is still true. Okay, so this works now. Okay, so it changes actually. So now units, it should go to units. Okay, so you can see it changes and it goes away. Yep, so that one is working properly. Okay, it is working properly. What one, if someone clicks on the link, it should just go off. Okay, so that is great. Responsive seems a bit, now we are handling a bit of it right now. Okay, we have some flexibility now going on. Okay, you can have all this now. Okay, you can have all. Okay, okay, so that is really cool. Okay, we're having this, I like it. Okay, okay, so now let me just see what we can do next. The next thing we can just do is I want to work on the you want to work on this. Though we still have these issues to fix our table. I don't know why it is somehow fixed with the width. Okay, I wanted somehow, if it has only one item like this one, somehow be smaller. Let's look at the form. And by the way, one thing I want to tell you about these brands here on this table, there is one small thing that I adjusted on the table. Let's look at it. So if you go to the back office dashboard and you go to something like brands, inventory, and you go to brands and you go on the page, this is normal. We are fetching the data here, and we have also the columns we want to show, and we are passing this to these brands. Okay, we are passing this data to the data table. We are passing the data and also the columns. Now if I go to the data table, you'll see that I just added the default values to be empty, just to avoid if there is no data coming in, to avoid issues, or for instance this map having issues if this is not an array. Okay, so this one should always be an array, and to make sure that of that, I just added this check. So this one sets that if there is no any data passed, it will take it as an empty array, even this one. So you can just add this only this here. Great. So now if I look at this table, let's see. The table itself starts from here. It has width is full. Okay, I think it is this one that is making it. I don't know if there is width auto. Is that something to do with width auto? Yeah, there is width auto. I don't know if what that one will do. Okay, it is still actually just full. Okay, so this is good. Okay, it is now reducing, but okay, and maybe we just give a min width. Okay, let's first take it to back to it is full. Okay, okay, so that is I think we should at this point we should just leave it like that. Here for the date we will add the dates. Okay, let me just go to this page. I'm just going to add created art and updated art. So you can just see created art, and we can also show the updated art if they are no. I think we should just make sure that the columns at least they are 3, so that we have some looking somehow reasonable. Yeah, so this one looks much reasonable now. Okay, this looks much reasonable. Yeah, we just maintain it like this. We'll look for a way of working on these dates to look much better. Yeah, I will look for a way of making these dates much better, and specifically these ones will be for these columns, the created art and the updated art. But for now, let's try to leave like this one. Okay, so one thing I just want to connect is this link here. I want first of all connect this link here to be the new. Okay, to be the new here. I just want this to be the new. When I click here, I want it to open the update. We are supposed to have the update form. So I'm thinking either to create for instance, when we create on a new, you see here we have this inventory brands and we open a new. Okay, so either we can use the same route. Okay, we can use the same route, or we could just click on update. Okay, we could click on the update, but we have exactly the same form. Okay, we could click on update and we have the same form, or we could just like this time, yeah, I don't know if we click and want to update. So one thing we could do is we could either go to this data table. Okay, and now we could also pass in this, okay, the link now. Okay, there's this new link, and then there is the update link. This one, I'm just going to copy this and pass it on the data table here. So paste this, and I'm just going to change this to like update link. So we could just maintain it to be the new, or we could change this to update, depending on what we want to do, but I just maintain it new for now. So if I just pass it to the data table, that means I can just come capture it here. So put a comma and put the update link. So this update link, you can just come and pass it on the actions. So where we have this edit on this link here. Okay, I'm just going to add this update link. So that means if I go back to this, let me refresh. Okay, let me just refresh. Okay, so if I just now click on this, okay, you see it takes us to the new. Okay, it takes us to this new. So but then how do we know that this is going to be the update? Okay, we have to know that this is the update. Okay, so one thing is yeah. So they update this this link. What it should just show, it is going to be brands, and then it should have like a specific it could have a specific ID. Okay, we could send it on to a specific ID. That is one thing. We could send it to a specific brands new. Okay, we could send it to a specific ID. So we could have the ID there, set. Okay, we could have the ID there set. Let me see. Mm-hmm. Okay, so because what we want is at the end of the day, the difference between the edit and this is that the difference between the edit and the update and the create new is that here we need some data. Okay, we need this to be populated with some data. So if you are to do that, what we need to do is that we have to pass in, we need to have an ID of the brand that we are editing. So we have to pass in that prop. Okay, so we have to pass in that prop of the ID. It has to have the ID of the stuff we are editing. Okay, so we could first of all send, okay, we are going to send this to, what I'm thinking is 1. Okay, what I'm thinking is 1. We're just going to make this one a component. Okay, so let's just go here. In dashboard, inventory, for instance, brands. Okay, so in the brands we can have a new folder, and let's just say brands update. Okay, brands update, and then inside the update we might have another folder. There are two ways we would capture this. Okay, there are two ways we would capture this. There are two ways we would capture this. One way is to use the params. Okay, one way is to use the params, and I think the params are easier. So in the update we could use the ID. So just like this, we get the ID, and let's say I put this, and then inside here I create page dot jsx, just like that. Let me just say RFC. Okay, so this is the update. So in this update, one thing I can just say, I can get the params, and then onto these params I can get the ID from these params. And let's just go ahead, say here h2 the update form, and ID is the for this one, this is for the brand. The brand ID is, they just try to see if we can just get this ID. Okay, so just go inside where we are having this page. So this link here, we are passing to this. At this point, by the way, we already have all the brands, but we don't know which specific brand. Okay, we don't know which specific brand. So this update table, if I just go to the data table, we are supposed to get it from this data after the mapping here. Let's see. So here we need to have this, where we have this link. Okay, we have this item. So I'm just going to construct a link here. So this should be something like, okay, it should take us to, let me first get this one, a second, brands. Let me copy this, all of this, copy, and just go back here. So we should have something like this, but we are getting, so we also don't know if this is, it should be inventory. We don't know if it is brands at this point, but for now, I just take it to brands, and then we say add update. Okay, and then we are going to stroke, or we have to give the ID, so which is going to be item. So it's going to be $item dot ID. Okay, so it has this $item dot ID, and let's check. Okay, let me just go back. So I'm just going to go back and click on edit and edit. So it should go to inventory brands update. Let's see. Okay, so you can see here it is on inventory brands update and is updating this ID. You can see the IDs here, and we are capturing the IDs here. Okay, so what this means is that instead of having this form, I don't need update link now. First of all, we're also just going to say of the resource. So I could send this. I cannot get it from here. Okay, so I can send it as from the data. So from the page here, I can send the resource name. Okay, I can send the resource name. We are talking about resource. Okay, resource title maybe, and for this one is the brands. Okay, this one resource title. Okay, this one is to identify which folder we are working with. So if I pass this resource title now, I go to the data, pass it in here, just like that, and then we can just also use it dynamically here. So instead of saying inventory brands, now we say $resource name. Okay, resource title, just like that, because we don't know what is going to be this here, but what we are sure it will have the update, so we just all create them in this format. Okay, so that is one thing. This one is still valid. Okay, this is still valid. Okay, that is great. So what you want here, it show the same exact form like the new form. Okay, So what I will first do is also transforming this form. So if you just go to the new here, instead of having this form, I want to reuse this exact form. Okay, instead of creating a new update form, I'm just going to use exact form. Okay, I'm just going to use the exact form, and to be able to reuse it, what I have to do is to update this as a component. Okay, I have to use this as the component because I have to reuse this as a component. Okay, I have to reuse this as a component. Now we're going to reuse this as a component. Okay, let me see. Anyway, so this is like a form for the new brand. Okay, so if I try to bring this to update, how about that? Update. So if for some reason I put this component here, what happens? Okay, let me just come and say the new brand. Okay, new brand, just like that. Let's see that. Okay, what will happen? Okay, so it is there actually. It is there because it is a component. Okay, so that means if I remove this, if I pass in, okay, if I just remove all these ones and I return this one alone, okay, so it's exactly just looking the same. Okay, is exactly looking the same. Now the fact that there is this new there are params. First of all, what we can do is fetching, getting the data for that single brand. Okay, we can get data for a single brand by using getting the ID, and we fetch by ID. Okay, so for instance, not up here, not up there, just what I want is down here. We could, for instance, say const data is equal to, okay, get data by ID. Okay, get data by ID, and I pass in the ID. Okay, I should just be able to get the data just like that. I should be able to get the data. Wait, of course, wait. This one has to be async function, async. Okay, so I have this async function. I have const data is await get data by ID. I haven't created this, but what I just know is I've created data that takes in the ID and this ID here, and then I get this data. Then this data is send it to the new brand. Okay, let's first work on this get data by ID. So I'll just go and create this in the libs. Go in the libs. Where is the libs? Libs. It is here. I'm creating this new file, get data by ID js. Okay, and I just first of all get this, whatever is in here, I'll just paste it in this with this one. So this one should also take in the endpoint, and actually I think we could even use the exact thing, because this one takes in the get data, takes in the endpoint, so it's a matter of modifying the endpoint. Okay, it's a matter of modifying the endpoint, because what this one will have to do is just simply have here edited, like we pass in the ID here. Okay, yeah, so that's looks great. I'm just going to leave this. I don't need to create this other second one, I think so. Let me first go and fetch a single brand. So I'm just going to go to the API. So in the API, you have the brands and then you have route. Okay. So what I'm just going to do is going in the brands, create a new folder, call it this ID, just like this. And inside this, I'm just going to copy some things. I could copy this router. Okay, this route, and we could paste it here. I just create a new route here. Instead of pasting this one, just create new file, route.js. Okay, you can just go here in this one. Let's get the fetch, this one. Just copy this, and let's go to this one and let's paste it here. So it has to be a get, but the difference with this one is that we have to get the params. Okay, so here we have the params, and then on these params we can get the ID. Okay, we just need to get the ID. Okay, and when you get the ID, now we'll have first get this DB. Okay, now if we are going to find a single, I think in the Prisma, let's first go to Prisma. Let's just go to Prisma and see, get started. So I want to find, there is this function, I think it's called find unique. Is it find unique? Let's search here, find unique. I think that is what the function is called, find unique. Let's see. I just come and see this API reference. Okay, there is this one of find unique and find unique also. Let's just see this find unique. Okay, so you can see here is saying the find unique queries lets you retrieve a single database record by ID or any other unique attribute. Find unique, they're saying find unique replaced find one. Oh, okay, so this is the latest one. They had to use find one, but we are going to use the find unique. Okay, so if I'm just going to go down here. You see, you can use the where clause. Okay, so just go here and say const brand. So here we are getting a single brand is DB. So get this from the DB. We already have it here. Is going to be find unique, just like that. And the only thing it takes in is the where. So where ID, just like that. So we are going to give anything, just going to say where ID, because this ID here, this one means where ID is equal ID, this one. And we should just return a single brand. and then here fetching brand, as simple as that. And we can test this by going to getting this ID. So I just want to go to simply go to we are going to API. Okay, API brand. Okay, API, we have brands, and then we pass in the ID. Let's see that. Okay, so right now is giving us this. Let's read on the console. Okay, next response is not defined. Okay, so yes, come here, get this next response from next server. Okay, let's again refresh. Okay, and we have retrieved it. So you can see we have the ID and the title is Samsung. So we have this single thing here. Okay, guys, you can see it here really nicely. That's good. So we have retrieved it. Now after retrieving that, okay, I'm just going to go to, so this one, let's show you now. Let me show you what is going to change. So you're just going to use this. Let me just minimize the API, go back to this one. So we don't need to create this get data by ID. I think we can still use get data, and we only pass in the endpoint. Okay, what changes is the endpoint. So let me just go and show you. I'm just going to go back to this page, not this one, update. Is it this one? Yeah. So instead I can just say use the get data, just like this. Now this get data takes in the endpoint. So now the endpoint now is going to be something like this. You get, so I'll just pass in for instance, this one is for the brands. So I will pass in brands, and it will be stroke. If you see this, the API endpoint we have used is API stroke brands this. Okay, I'm just copy that. So this is the thing, the whole thing, brands, and then the ID, and the ID we have it here. So I'll just simply attach this here, just simply like this. Okay, just pass in ID, just like that, and remove this. So I just pass in the data is say get data, and I'm passing in the endpoint now is going to be brands, and then I pass in the ID. I have no idea if this is going to work, but just like here, I'm just going to see console.log data and see if I'm getting anything out of this. And let's look at the get data. If we try to understand how it is going to do this, we go to the get data. So we pass in the endpoint. So it is going to be API localhost base URL API endpoint. Now the endpoint here, it can be anything. You get? Okay, yeah, we should have that one working. Let me just go back to I'm just going to go back to the localhost dashboard, and then on the dashboard and I go to categories maybe. Okay, just zoom out back to 100 and close this. Okay, in fact I just go to brands. I just want to go to brands. Okay, and let's just click on edit. Okay, now let's check on the console. Okay, let me just move this up. Let me check on the console. Okay, so you can see we have this being console, and you can see we have this API. So we have this getting back this, and this one is broadcasting from this site where okay, let me just close some things. The data tables, I just need this one. So I have the data, so you're just going to pass this data here. Okay, and I'm just going to pass this one as the initial data. Okay, or you could just call whatever just you call it, and then you're just going to pass this as data. Okay, so I pass this initial data to this, and if I just go to this one, also what we could do is that we could set a new variable here. Okay, is update. Okay, is update, or we could even use ID, but let me just say is update at this point, and set this to true. Okay, I'm just going to set this to true. And why am I using is update? Because we are going to use this one on this new brand. So we are going to modify this new brand thing. It takes in the initial data and then takes in the update data. And now we have this also is update to true, because we are now updating the data, and by default we could give this one as false. Let me just go to the new brand. It takes in this. I'm just going to copy that, go to the new brand. So the new brand must accept now two things, the initial data and the is update. Now by default we could set is update to we could set by default this one to false. Okay, do we need to put comma? And then initial data we could of course set it to empty, maybe as an empty object. Okay, we could set this as an empty object initially, and this one false. Now we could start by saying, okay, this is update. If is update is true, what do we want first change? Let me start with here. Instead of this title saying a new brand, I'm just going to change this, cut this, and say if is update is true. This one has changed to say update, for instance update brand, I guess. Else then we have this new brand. Okay, then what else should change? This load the title here, instead of saying just this, I'm just going to copy exactly the same here. Just copy this, and I'm just going to update here. So if title, if his update is true, it should be update brand, or here it will be like new brand. Okay, we could just this one we could just leave it actually, because at the end of the day is save. We're having save. Maybe we could just go to the submit button. we could update it here because here you can see it is saving, and then here we have save, and then we have the title here. Yeah, we could just say save updated brand or save new brand. Okay, that one can also work. Where is the page? This one. Yeah, so here we could have this. Let me just copy this. Okay, so I'm just going to modify this title. So it will be title if it is updated brand. So it will be save updated brand here, save new brand. Okay, so let's just see if this changes, and you can see it changes here. Update brand, and here we have save updated brand. The only problem we have is that we don't have the data initially here. Okay, we need the data to change here. We need the data to change in here so that we have the Samsung pre-filled. So how are we going to do that? Okay, and I think on this data in the use form we could take in the initial data. Let's go to okay, this is the CRUD. Let me just leave this CRUD here. I'm just going to go to React hook forms, React hook forms. Just go to React hook forms, and I don't know if they have the search. Do they have the search? Just click on get started. Okay, it is unfortunate that they don't have search anywhere. They have here some search. Does this work? We could just pass in like initial data, something like initial. Let me see here if how to initialize form values. Okay, so you see we can pass in this here. Okay, we can pass in here this stuff. You can see here how to initialize the form values. So being that React hook forms relies on a control blah blah, so we can pass in these default values. Okay, so let me just pass in here this. Okay, just copy this. So in the use form we can actually pass in an object of this here. Okay, just pass in this object, and if you look in the form there is nothing we just need to do. Okay, don't think we need anything to do. Let me just first do that. So inside here I can pass in the default values, and default values is an object which is going to be the initial data. So this one I pass in initial data just like this. Default values is equal initial data that is coming here. You can see this is an object. If it is a new brand, of course it will be empty. Let's see that if it changes anything. Okay, let me just wait. It should just change something. Nothing. Wow, yeah, so we have Samsung, guys. So definitely this is nice. So we have Samsung now working right now. We have the Samsung coming in through. This is really good. This is really good. So now we are able to reuse the form. Okay, our form, and it is coming through. Now one thing that is remaining is this here. Okay, so we have to make the if statement. Okay, if, so for instance, I'm just going to cut this. Okay, I'm just going to cut this, and I make an if statement. If, okay, if is update. If it is update, we must run this ls, then we can run this. Okay, so here in this we are having now two stuff. We can run either the update or we run the make post request, definitely. Okay, so here we have to make the update request. Okay, this one is going to be the update request. Okay, we have to make the update request there at this point. So how do we create the update? First of all is just looking at, if you look at this CRUD reference, I left it here for a reason. You also want to look at updating, where we update data, or where update. So there is update single record. Okay, so you see update, we use the update function. Okay, update user await prisma dot user dot update, and then where we have this. Okay, now that method, it can be a put, okay, or a patch. Okay, if you check in this, just going to use, I think it is going to be a put. Let me just say next.js. Okay, next.js API reference or something. Okay, so if you just go here, API reference app router, API reference is divided into the following components, files. What are they talking about? I just want to see the APIs. Okay, I just see maybe, are they like route handlers? So we have here the gate. So you can, I don't know, they have never just like understood like there is put always and patch. I don't know why they use that, but let's just go here and see. So similarly, the post method will cause router to be eventually dynamic, blah blah, and I just want to see the other, like the put. The put, they are talking about the URL params. So we just use, I think we are going to use the I'll just simply use the so you can see them, all of them here. So we have these, all of them that here. We have the gate, we have the post, then we have the put, and then we have also the patch. Okay, Okay, so I'm just going to use, I think, the put. Okay, I'll just use the put, definitely. Okay, so what we can just go here is we can also just try to make one request. This one, I'm just going to definitely just make this just like this. So yes, we're going to create ours, which is going to be make put request or patch. For now, just call it put request. Is going to be taking in everything, and this API is going to change. Okay, this API has to change. The fact that we have the initial data, we can send this very well. Here, remember, we have this initial data, and this initial data is having the ID. If you look at it, this is the initial data here. This one you are looking at here is the initial data, so it has the ID attached to it. So what we can do is we can change this. We are just going to create this in a second, but here this changes to, instead of having it like this, I'm just going to change it. Okay, just have it like this. API brands, and we pass in the ID, which is going to be initial data. Okay, it's supposed to be just like this, dollar. So here I'm just going to pass in the initial data dot ID, as simple as that. So this one will go API brand is this to update, and okay, we send the data, and of course we have this one. So I'm just going to go and try to create this make put request. Let me just go to let me go to this, and let me just remove this, just delete this. Okay, delete this, and we're just going to have in this one, we could just have actually another one down. There can be two of them here. Okay, make, so this one I'm just going to call the second one make put request. Okay, it can change to patch, but I just may say put. So it also takes in exactly the same things. Okay, what changes is, first of all, is that this method changes to put. Okay, and everything else remains, I think, the same. Yeah. What changes here is that okay, just remove this new updated successfully updated. Okay, let's just first leave it at that. So we are sending it to the endpoint. Remember, we have modified the endpoint. Is sending now to brands stroke ID. So when we go to, let's first go back here in a second. Make put request, I can first also get that from that. Okay, let's just go to the API, just go to the API brands ID route. Okay, so we have to go and get this export. Just copy this and duplicate this one, and we're just going to say this is going to be a put. Okay, request gets the params, gets the brand. So const brand is await db.brand.update. Okay, so definitely the update function must take in data, and I can confirm it here. So you see, takes in two things: update takes in the where clause and the data. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this, just simply copy this. It is taking in the where and the data, so I'm just going to have where, and down here data. Okay, so the data we must get it from, so that means here we have to get const. Here we only need actually the title. From this data we're just going to extract only the title is what we are updating. So title is going to be equal to await. Okay, await request. We are waiting request.json, just like that, and we are getting this title from there, and then this here we pass in the title, just like that. Okay, so I don't know if this whatsoever has can work. I cannot promise that, but I have to say I see everything. We have this here, and then we have the brand, we have the ID set, we have the data set. So after this is worked, you should just have like a new brand. Can I just come here and say console.log brand. Okay, and here failed to create, failed to update the brand. So failed to update, update the brand. Okay, let's just go and fingers crossed. Okay, let's just go to this. We see if we don't have any. So I'm just going to refresh. Okay, I'm just going to refresh. Okay, so we have this Samsung. I'm just going to add like Samsung updated, just like that. Trying to do this, saving updated brand updated successfully. What? Did it just like work at once? Let's just go here, and I just need to see the created one. Down. I just need to see false. Samsung. I just need the so we have here, guys, Samsung updated successfully. We have here Samsung updated, and we even have the created art and updated art. I think they are updating correctly, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, now what I just need is the moment of truth is for this time we should for this one we should redirect. After updating we should redirect, but for now let me just close this. So if I close this, it should refresh and say wow. So we have the Samsung updated, guys. This is great. We have the Samsung updated. I'm just going to change one thing in this. Okay, so we're just going to get a router. For this case, I'm just going to get a router. Okay, I don't know if I can just get it here, router. Do I need to get it from the other side? Creating the router from the other side and I send it to this side, or I get it from this side? Which one should I do? Because I could do something like I could get a router. Okay. After creating the new brand, after creating here the new brand, we're just going to edit the Techno here. So click on edit Techno. It should take us to this, and we are editing Techno. Now what I just want is, if after updating, instead, because if logically if someone updates, he doesn't want to update just again, because for the creating is understandable, someone might want to create another brand right away, but this one we should probably actually redirect to the back to the home page. Okay, we should redirect. So now how do we do that? Of course, you're supposed to use router, but what I don't know is if this router should be done from here. Okay, of course, here in what is coming, not of course this side, is in this libs, this API thing here. Okay, so after we have this response done very well, we are supposed to have the router. What I don't know is if this router should be done from here. Okay, let me just try to do it from here. Const router, I can just do this inside even. Okay, I can do inside this make put request. I can just say const router is equal to, okay, use, I think it's use router from next navigation. And so after getting the router, now that means that we should pass in here a redirect URL. Okay, so I just say redirect URL. Like this is a URL where it should go after creating the resource or updating the resource. And then after here, after reset, did it just like do we need a reset here? We might just not need a reset here. Okay, so instead of resetting, let's just say router dot push. Okay, let's just say router dot, are we going to use push or replace? Okay, let's just first do the push, and I think this one there is also replace. I don't know the difference, but they just try now. I'm just going to, one thing is to define this redirect URL. Just copy this and come here. Where is the redirect? Where are we supposed to pass in the redirect? In this new. Okay, so in this one we're supposed to pass in the redirect URL. So we have set loading, we have this, and then we have 3. Where did I pass it? After resource name, after the resource name, which is this one. So I have the redirect URL. I'm just going to say this. Okay, just put a comma here. I'm just going to say redirect URL is going to be where do we want to redirect? Want to redirect to dashboard. brands, just like this here. Want to redirect to this. Okay, let's just try. Now I'm just going to refresh. Okay, I'll just replace, and I'm just going to say here Techno updated. Let's say saving right now. What? Something is not right. Where did I just break? Error, invite hook call. Hooks can only be called inside of the body function component. This could happen. You might be missing the version of React. Then you might be breaking the rules of the hooks. Okay, so definitely it is this hook we have in the API request. So it's supposed to come, I think, this one. Maybe this hook. And so what I will just also do is, so this hook is going to come from the router. We can just send it as a function. Okay, I think we can send it as a function. Redirect, just have like this, a function of redirect, just like maybe this, redirect, and then I'm just going to just say redirect, just like that. And then here, that means that I'm just going to create the, instead of this, I'm just going to pass in the redirect function. So I just define this somewhere. Okay, on top here, I'm just going to say function redirect, function redirect, just like that. So this one is just going now to use the router. So I'm just going to say const router on top here. Okay, I'm just going to go say router const router is equal to use router from next navigation. Okay, then scroll down. So this one is going to be router.push. Okay. Then we just pass in the just going to pass in this. Okay, the stock brands. Okay, just like that. Let's see now. See, so I just create this function and I'm passing this function down here. Okay, and yep, let's just see. Okay, I'm just going to reload one more time. Okay, reload one more time, and let's say Techno updated. Okay, save. I'm still breaking the rules. Reference use router is not defined. Where am I still having it this side? In the API request, use router anywhere? I have this. Okay, yeah. Still have it here. Okay, just go ahead. Right, just try again. Refresh. Okay, I'm just going to just do updated, save. Okay, saving updated, brand updated successfully. Yep, we have been redirected and we have taken updated. Very nice, guys. I like this. This is good. Wow. So you have taken updated. Let me just update Hisense. Okay, I'm loving this. Hisense updated. Save this. Okay, brand updated successfully. Okay, we have been redirected. That's what I was saying. But it doesn't actually, you have to refresh to see the updated. So I don't know if it should replace. Okay, on the router, let me just see a search something, more especially the router. Okay, actually yes, we just use, maybe we could say use router. Okay, so we have all these methods on the router, and they have the router.push is that we are just taking. So it uses performs a client-side navigation to the provided route, adds a new entry into the browser history. There is router.replace replace performs a client to provide route without adding a new entry. Then we have refresh the refresh the current route, making a new request to the server, refreshing data requests, and rendering server components. The client will merge the update, blah blah. Then we have the prefetch. The router.prefetch takes in the href, prefetch the provided route for faster client transitions. Then is router.back, navigate back to the previous route. Then it is forward, it forwards to the next. Now we have the okay. Which one should we use? There is the push, refresh. It doesn't look like the replace has anything to do with refreshing. There is this router.refresh, which looks like the one which would help us, but it doesn't actually take in. If you look at it, it does not take in anything. Like you can see this one take in href. It doesn't take in because it is refreshing the current route. Okay, because what I want is after fetching after going on the other page, I just simply want to prefetch the provided route for faster client transitions. What is this? The prefetch. Prefetch is a way to preload a route in the background before the user visits it. There are two ways preferred. The link component automatically prefetched as the link becomes used to the user's viewport. The router.prefetch, the use router hook, can be used to prefetch routes programmatically. The prefetch I don't think can solve our problem, but let's try prefetch. Maybe where is it? Okay, after making, we have this redirect function. Just pass this prefetch. I have no clue whatsoever. It can help us. Let me change this to, I'm just going to go to this edit. I have a license updated twice. I'm just going to say it twice and see. Okay, so the prefetch does not take to the other page. Okay, it doesn't actually take you to the next page. Let's see this side. Any errors? Was preloaded using the ink preload, but not used within a few seconds from the window load event. Please make sure it has an appropriate as route as value as this preloaded intentionally. So I thought it takes in a route. It doesn't take in any route. I saw it has like here a string. Okay, so let's just try to use replace. Okay, here replace. Okay, replace. Okay, router dot replace. Just come here, reload. Okay, and now you can see we have the twice. I'm just going to change this one to test. Save. Yep, it seems to be working. They just do the test here. Take updated test. Just go and add here test. Save. Saved. It has the same. It has the same exact problem. Okay. We look for the solution because now this you have to refresh. Probably what we could do, the weird thing we could do was, instead of using the router, we could actually use the window. But that is like exactly the same thing. Window.location. It does not like really refresh the page. But anyways, let's just we can leave these ones here like this. We are just going to work on this redirect function so that it actually does the thing, but the update functionality is working properly. Now our task is to transform all what we have done and we do it to all of them. Okay, we have to update all of them. Like we have done it on the brands, we have to do it on the units, warehouse, inventory, and all others. Now inventory, they still have some problem. We have to start working on manipulating actually this. We have to make a separate video for the inventory because we need to know how to actually manipulate this inventory here. Okay, like these really figures have to mean something. Okay, like when we manipulate here, it should really mean something in terms of modifying numbers. Okay, but for now what I just want to do is I'm just going to work on the categories, units, warehouse, and suppliers. Okay, let me start with the units. They look to be easy, and we have a lot to change in that. So the first thing we have to do is we have to create this updated for everything in the brand. What we first change it is in the items we have to create the same updated. So I'm just going to copy. You can copy this, okay, and then paste it in the. We are working on the units. I'm just working on the units because they're easy. So have they updated? Does it have? Yeah, it has even these things inside. Okay, so it has this page. So the first thing is that if you check on the brands, the first thing we change it is we change it on this page. So brands page, it has to change. Let me see. First of all, we pass in the resource title now on the data table. That is the first thing I'm just going to do is here, copy this, and I'm just going to go to where is it? I'm just going to go to units page, and the first thing we said, we can pass in the resource title here, and these ones are units. Okay, this one is going to help us in the edit. If you pass in the resource title here, if we see how we're using resource title, if you go to the data table, you see that this resource title comes and then it is used in the edit. So if you see here in this href of the edit, it takes in dashboard, inventory now to be units, update, and then item ID. Okay, so that is good. So let's continue. So in the units, we have updated this. Great. So now that we have that, we go to this update, units update, and then inside here, we have this page. Now, first of all, is to get the data, which will be here instead of brands. It will be passing in units. Okay, so to go to units, stock ID, it fetches for the single, gets it, passes it here in this stuff, is update true, everything here done. So the only thing is just to go to this and create to the API. So go and create the API route. Just go to the API app, API units, and then so what you're just going to do is I'm just going to go to brands, copy this, okay, and I can paste this everywhere in the categories, paste, okay, in the items, paste, like they will all have that, suppliers, paste, okay, and then units, of course, paste. Okay, that's it. And also the warehouse, paste. So just go to units and this, and then we'll go to route. So the first thing, of course, is for getting this, fetching the data. So it comes here, it's going to say unit. So here is unit, fetch a single unit from the unit, and where ID is equal to this ID, which is okay, and then return unit. Okay, and then go down, fetch the unit, just like that. That one should be done. Okay, and we could just work on all the endpoints. Like we can go to the warehouse. Let's just do this. So wherever I have brand, I can just turn this into warehouse. Okay, get to the warehouse is db warehouse, where ID, return the warehouse, and finally here we have warehouse. Okay, and then let's go to route. We can just go to units. We have suppliers. So here is going to be supplier. Okay, db.supplier. Okay, just like that. And here supplier. Of course, we'll confirm this when we reach them. We have the same thing to the item. Okay, so here is going to be the item. Okay, that is the gate. Okay, fetch the item. Categories. Okay, just finally the categories, and here is going to be the category. Okay, fetch the category. Okay, right now we are working on units. Let's stay on units. So go back to the units here. So we have this gate. We are getting db unit find unique. It gets this, it returns it here. Okay, and we have that. Of course, the update will just be on update later, but right now let's see if we can go to the unit. Just go to units. Okay, let's click on update. Just going to click on update letters. Let's see. Okay, should go to update. Let's just wait and see. Okay, so the data is not being fetched. We don't even have this whole thing passing. There is something that is not right. Of course, we have one thing is close this, go to the dashboard, inventory, units, update, page. Okay, so we have this data. We are getting units ID. We are passing even consoling this. We are passing in not new brand, guys. We are just here going to use this. So the one we had used it on the new, which is actually new unit, I guess, new unit. Okay, so we just pass in the new unit in the update. So here, instead of new brand, we're just going to pass in new unit. Pass this, call this, and we don't need the brand now. Okay, so new unit, and then we pass in data update. So if you go to the new unit, we have to also change this. So go to the new unit, and first of all, what are we sending this side? Let me close some of these confusing tables. Okay, just have this. So we have this data. Copy this, and I can first close also these some of these routes. They are becoming a problem. So just close these ones. Okay, just have closed all these. Now you can have like 1,000 of them open and you don't know. Just busy writing, and they're accumulating. We have all these ones, so let's go and find the one we want. Just go to units, where the units update. Okay, so we are sending this to the new unit. Okay, just get these ones, copy them, go to this new unit. Okay, then we are passing in these ones. As we said, the initial data is going to be an empty by default. Put comma, is update is going to be false by default. So this one is going to be false. Okay, and then we pass in here an object where of default values to be actually initial data. Okay, just like that. And one more thing is we have to change this. Okay, and what we can just do quickly is what you can do quickly is looking at the brands update, actually on the new, this one, just copy some things. Okay, just copy some things. We have, for instance, if update, just going to copy this. Okay, just go on the units and we'll have an if statement here. After this we'll have if is update is true, and we'll have this inside. You could even do just like that, because if it is updated would run this, but you can just say else. Else you just put this inside. We have actually just tested the else part. Okay, so but here we are just saying here is going to be brands, no, brands units. Okay, this is unit, it is redirect, and for the redirect right now we can just get this redirect function here. We could make it also global, but just leave it like that. And I'm just going to put it on top here, redirect. Okay, so we just make this unit redirect reset. Okay, there's one thing remaining, is changing these things here. Okay, cut this and we just say if is update is true, this one have to change to update unit. So you have to say update unit. Okay, and here we just put this one, new unit. I'm just going to copy this very one, just like this, copy, take it to the submit, the title here. Yeah, this one is going to be updated unit and new unit. Okay, and let's try to refetch this now. First of all, you can see the only thing I'm not seeing is the fetching the data here. Okay, let me just try to go back. Okay, refresh, and let's just click on edit. I don't know if the data is being fetched, because it seems like the data is not being fetched. At that point we can just go and confirm. I don't know if there's somewhere I printed it. Yep, I can see somewhere this is being fetched somewhere. The route must be working. I don't know if it is being does it reach this side? This is a client component, right? So you could just go ahead and let me just go to this. So here where we are getting this, this is equal to the data. Okay, this, I don't know if this is going anywhere, because here we are getting it. Okay, so I want to go and get it on this. If I just say console.log initial data, Okay, more especially on this page, what would it give me? And we have the initial data, by the way. But let me just check. Yeah, initial data, I have the initial data is here, is having the abbreviation, the created ID, and letters. Now the question is, why is it not updating it in the form? And wait just a second. This is page 14. Why is it adding this is update? Just a second to check in this in the brands new. Just check if anything. This is actually the way we did it. It has this default values, and even here I passed in default values to be the initial data. Okay, initial data, but for some reason it is not updating. Okay, just see from okay, that's very interesting. Though I don't know why. For some reason, let me just see. I don't know why on this it shows two. Why is it say showing me is update? I'm not consoling is update anywhere. Okay, let me just refresh this. It is including this is update. You can see it as if it gives me an object with two things. Like, this is somehow weird. How we are having this. Where is this is update coming from exactly? So we have this is update. Is update is set false, and initial data is set to this. Okay, why is it concerning the there is update in that case? There is no reason why it should be just like only this one. Okay, what I'm just going to do is just simply go to this new brands, just copy exactly this, use this function. First of all, I'll just copy this exactly the way this is here. Oh, okay, so I can see what the problem is. This one's supposed to be destructured. Okay, we did not destructure this here. They're supposed to be destructured. I think that is the problem. Okay, let me just refresh. It must be the problem. Yeah, it was the problem, definitely. Okay, so you can see how I hustle to see it. at least you are there seeing me hustling to see it. Okay, so one thing we have to see, we are updating the title and abbreviation. So if we just have to work on the update for this one, we are passing in the same data. Make put request, we are passing data, so this data goes to the API, so it will navigate until it reaches API units here and it goes to this route. Okay, and then it goes to the put. So here we have to get the title plus the abbreviation. Abbreviation, I'm not sure that's the spelling, but we'll get this and then add it here. And this is not a brand, this is a unit. Dot unit dot update where ID, then it should just have this unit, and the error should be failed to create to update the unit. Okay, so that is good. Okay, so let's just try to see try to update these ones. I'm just going to say units updated and even liters updated, just see if this works. Okay, so the first thing we get the error promise. Okay, and a quote reference make put request is not defined. Okay, so we did not also get this one, just get this from there. Okay, let's refresh and get rid of this, refresh very well. Okay, just like that, and just gonna say updated, okay, save. So you see now saving, update unit updated successfully. Let's wait for the redirect. Oh, did we pass the redirect? No. So we have the redirect here, and this here is supposed to go to units, and they just use the push. Anyways, I'm just going to push to units. Okay, first of all, I'm just going to go back, so I'm just going to close this. I want to see if the update actually happened. Yeah, so you can see the update happened. Okay, let me just return them the way they were supposed to be. So just remove them. So remove this one. Let's save. Okay, and for some reason the redirect method is not working. Okay, let's check. We have the function. Did we get the router? No, we don't actually have the router. Shit, that is the problem. Okay, so I just going to say here const router. So we don't have this stuff. Const router is equal to use router. Okay, use router, just like that. So I'm just going to quickly now reload this. Okay, so you can see it will fetch now the other one. So just update them, updated, and just going to update one just like that. And now let's wait for the redirect. Yeah, so you can see updated. Okay, so that's cool. So we are happy now we can update the units, but at least you have seen the hassle. Okay, so what I want is at least you go ahead and do the update for all others. Okay, so we still have more on the plate. We have the items, we have the categories, we have the warehouse and the supplier. Okay, and even this inventory we have to do the update. However much we'll work on them even on the more on the next video. So behind the screens I will just go and also work on to this the categories. At least I've showed you how we have done 1 and 2. So just going to do exactly the same thing for all others. Okay, just going to do exactly the same thing for all others. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this episode. We have learned a lot of things. We have seen a lot of techniques. For instance, how we made this to be responsive. Okay, after doing that we looked at just clicking on a single this, it takes it off. We looked at update. We really had fun with the update functionalities. We had to scratch our heads to make this work, to use one form to reuse the same form, exactly the same form, which I think was really cool. Okay, so yeah, I think we covered a lot of stuff here. So thank you so much for watching this episode. I will see you in the next one.